You thought Candace was done talking? You are sadly mistaken. Her voice is only growing larger, and especially after Andrew Kolvet had to confirm, like, yeah, those were my text messages that I sent out to people. Mind you, he said that it was evidence in the case. Why would you send evidence to just random people? Well, people that you know, but people who spread it around and it ended up in Candace's lap because it is confirmed those text messages from Charlie being pressured by donors to not deal with certain people that had something to say against Israel. Yeah, they were real. Let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. Right. So in this clip that we're about to watch, Candace is basically reviewing the story that we covered earlier about Turning Point making a response, right? And confirming, yes, the text messages are real. And then they try to spin it to make it seem like, oh no, he still loved Israel. But here, Candace is giving her own, review of the video, but also she reveals like she's hurt by Turning Point and more so Andrew because he made it look out to be that she was crazy and she's just throwing these things out there, which we're now finding out that other people from Turning Point feel the same way. And she reveals that Charlie Kirk knew that somebody was after him. He felt that somebody was trying to, yes, unalive him. Let's get to it, y'all. This is deep.
Going on for months. And it's probably somewhere between the BB letter and the text.
So what do we think? Okay, obviously, you can tell he's anxious. You can tell he's nervous speaking about this. I am sure it was positively frantic at Turning Point USA yesterday. I am sure he had very little sleep. And like I say, never the fun thing to be the spokesperson and also to be involved in the story. I can tell you right off the bat, he is telling the truth. He was not the person who shared that message with me. He also should know that he was not the only person who sent that message and sent messages around. So there are a lot circulating, some videos that are circulating. And he's being honest about that portion. I personally, as someone who knows Andrew Kolvet, I want to express how I feel. I hold it against him, actually, that he didn't share it with me. He knew. I cried on the phone with Andrew. He knew how I was feeling. And then I went under a very, well, you could say a blitzkrieg, right? A heavy bombardment from people who he knows hated Charlie, who tried to stop Charlie, people who had no issues showing up to his memorial. I mean, really gross stuff, who were attacking me. And he could have at least provided some cover. Now, I'm not saying that I need help.
So what we're finding out is that Candace Owens is a real one. She's the only one out there speaking truth. Very telling. But Candace shouldn't be surprised because remember when the Daily Wire fired your ass? No one came out and defended you. Why are you shocked? You were literally used as the token black girl. Come on, Candace. Be smarter, man.
But sometimes it's nice to offer somebody a lifeboat when they're being attacked for telling the truth, right? So I do want to say that. Also, I'm glad that Andrew responded correctly because I was going to say this when Blake's like, well, the investigation's ongoing. That text message has nothing to do with an investigation whatsoever. It has to do with the broader question of people feeling that Charlie's legacy is intentionally being hijacked by Israel. I never stated that Israel killed Charlie. Anybody that's been watching this investigative series, we've come up, there hasn't even been an Israeli name that's popped up in this investigation. There's only been one Jewish person, I think, that's popped up thus far in this investigation, which is George Zinn, decoy boy. So they're just saying that. I just wanted to say that he was under a tremendous amount of pressure. Now, regarding the other things that are circulating that have not been publicized yet, and people should know that there is an underground movement of truth tellers in this moment. Okay, there's an underground movement of knights all around the world, from mom sleuths to government employees, like he said, to personal assistants, to Turning Point USA donors, who are working together to bring justice to Charlie because we don't like the way this feels. We just don't like the way it feels. The vibes are off. I will respect, even though obviously that statement was prepared, I will respect the fact that Andrew says what Charlie would have said, and for the first time, I feel that's been expressed, that we have to let free speech be our North Star. And I'm not so sure that some of the people that are donating to Turning Point USA believe that. In fact, I'm certain some of them don't believe that. Obviously, we wouldn't have that text message if they all believed.
One thing that I want to point out is that when you get into politics, like, these people are pumping money into you because they want you to peddle a certain narrative, or they want you to implement things in favor of them. So the money isn't given because, like, oh yeah, we love what Charlie Kirk is doing, and we want to support him and see him grow. It's like those people seen he had a following, and like, how do we help push a narrative? And it doesn't have to be a good or a bad narrative. It's just a narrative. You put money into them because you're not going to go against somebody giving you $2 million. Listen, shit, for $500, I'll push a narrative for you. Oh, shut up. Don't judge me. I'm a little broke right now. Send me some money, damn it. But anyway, you'll do some strange little piece of change. And that's what Charlie was for.
That. And that is what I think has been so frustrating, is that it seems as though the executives would rather, and I'm now referring to Tyler Boyer, impugn the character of the people who are doing exactly what Charlie Kirk would have done. So please, Andrew, make sure that Tyler Boyer and Alex Clark get the internal memo about free speech. I want to say one more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. One who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay. He did not express that to me. So I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people, who I think are good, will be inspired to come forward with that. Again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they?
Now that is pretty deep. That is deep. Like, he felt that somebody was trying to him the day before. Man.
That he thought were going to kill him. Now, to give the obvious answer to federal informant Nick Fuentes' question, the reason that I waited to reveal the text messages is because I'm not a child. Okay. Like I said, I have a lot more. I'm not an idiot, and I have self-control, and I understand that time is always going to be on the side of truth. Time is on the side of truth. Liars know that that's the reality. Liars know that they have to speak quickly, that they have to speak repeatedly. And I wanted the world to truly understand just exactly what it is that we are up against. Okay. People that I deem to be.
I think one thing, the reason why people believe Candace Owens in this sense regarding Charlie Kirk, because 1, she was his friend. And 2, don't forget, it still says on their website she's on the board for Blexit, which we can talk about that in a different show. But she was a part of Turning Point. A lot of these Black Republicans got their start on Turning Point. So she was there in the beginning when it was nothing. And so now, seeing the way the brand has really grown and stuff like that, she can tell you all the dirt in the inside and out, what actually goes on in that organization. That's the crazy part.
Mentally and spiritually evil. Okay. Evil in the true essence of the word evil. People who knowingly lied, instantly lied, repeatedly lied, and continued to do so without a trace of shame. Okay. Without a trace of shame. I mean that, right? I really do mean it when I say that you have to be someone that is, or maybe rather someone that is possessed by something that is less than human, subhuman, to do that. There's no humanity in you. That is why I named Josh Hammer. I believe he is a deeply disturbed man. Think about that. Now that you have those messages, okay, let's put this in the context. Just a few hours before I dropped that text chain, Josh Hammer was concerning himself with what he's been doing since Charlie caught the bullet in his neck. He has been spreading lies, saying that Charlie never flinched on Israel, right? Charlie never flinched. Oh my God, these people like Candace, they're lying. 48 hours before Josh Hammer was on that text thread. And that did not stop him from keeping up the propagandist effort when he went on a show yesterday before I dropped the messages and said this.
Charlie was a close friend of mine, as you know. We actually spoke literally the night before his tragic and untimely death. I was on a small Zoom call with him and a couple others. We were literally talking through this topic. I was giving Charlie advice for how to message on this issue on his forthcoming campus tour. He kind of jokingly mentioned to me, he was like, Josh, I'm going to mention your book, Israel and Civilization, and it's so good. And that was literally our last conversation. It's just so tragic. This letter that he wrote to the prime minister, Chris, I read back in June or July or so. And there were so many people in the aftermath of his horrific assassination, Candace Owens, folks like that, who were saying that, Charlie was turning on Israel. He was ready to sell them out and renounce his life's work of sincere and genuine friendship.
The interesting thing is the people who talk about this and try to defend Israel is that if I was the person saying that, all of this internet conspiracy theories are all lie, if I was trying to dispute that, one of my things that I would say is like, hey, I know there's been things going on the internet about Israel. Listen, I don't know anything about that, but the man that Charlie Kirk was this, that, and that, and this. But in their defense of what's going on with Charlie, it seems like they're more or less defending Israel. Let me know in the chat if you feel that way too. Like they're defending Israel more than they are defending the legacy of Charlie Kirk,
the Jewish people and the Jewish state. But this letter that he wrote to Bibi Netanyahu, Chris, literally begins the first sentence of the letter.
Did he communicate that to you, Josh Hammer? Did he?
Oh, let me go.
I'm interested.
Sorry.
I know we won't get into. Well, Charlie was going through 48 hours earlier. Yeah, he refused to do that. And in fact, I'm quite alarmed with what I know that there are 3 people who said that Charlie communicated 24 hours before he died that he thought they were going to kill him. Now I find it rather alarming that Josh Hammer is similarly saying, the night before. So you spoke to him the night before. Did he communicate that to you, Josh Hammer? Did he? I'm interested. I know we won't get answers from you, but let me promise you that if I get a text message to the effect that you were somehow involved in him feeling anxiety the day before, if you did something that gave him anxiety in that way, I will release it instantly. There will be no place that you can hide. Anyways, I want you guys to know that I was feeling so inspired by Josh Hammer's utter lack of human decency that I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. People that are trying to bankrupt me, trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us, to sue us. Everything that Kanye said was so real. Okay. I'm now at that point where you look back and you go, man, Kanye was right. He was really saying something about what it takes to leave, to fight for custody of your own soul. Just leave me alone. Let me say what I believe and you say what you believe. Fight fair. Why do you always have to make this threat to bankrupt people? And I want you to know that those people, if anything happens to me, they have my explicit permission to release it all, detonate it all, expose all of these people in politics and in the movement who behave like this behind the scenes. It's necessary. And I highly recommend every single person that is out there that has a platform and is going through things and scared, do the same. Send everything around to about 8 people that you trust. And I mean, I've ranged it. I sent it to journalists, text messages and screenshots to people ranging from Max Blumenthal to Andrew Tate. They won't know where it's coming from. It will be everywhere.
Out of all the people, Andrew Tate, oh my God, Candace. And then this is why I don't F with her, because she always saying something stupid and just backtracking on everything. But let me go ahead and skip a little bit ahead because I want to go to, she talks about Tyler Robinson's, everybody say trans, but that's not even confirmed. It's just a femboy. It's still a boy, Damon. It's not a girl, it's a boy. So, you know, let's go ahead and skip forward to that because she says a lot in here. So let's go ahead and pay attention to it.
His involvement is limited to. That was his job, to get rid of clothing. It's completely a nonsense to think that a person who had never killed anyone was high on adrenaline after a kill and decided to eat Dairy Queen. That doesn't even make sense biologically speaking. There was going to be an adrenaline measure that kicks in after you kill animal, let alone a person, let alone having it be your first kill. And you're like, he just decided to go to DQ, sit down, write some poetic text messages. It's why they are freaking out about that Dairy Queen leak, because it disrupts their narrative. One of many things that disrupts their narrative. But what about Lance Twiggs, right? This roommate, man, something about him. The roommate of Tyler Robinson is, I think, federally protected. I especially think that because we learned some more interesting facts about him. So I feel confident, or I shouldn't say completely confident, but I feel like it's okay to venture a guess that he is a federal asset of some description. Could be related to his online work on Discord chats. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Anyways, I can tell you guys, I can break this for you, that the government, and this would implicate Governor Cox and whoever else was a part of that press conference the morning after, the 33 hours after they apprehended Tyler Robinson, the government lied when they said, Lance, you know, I'm obviously paraphrasing here, he came in peacefully, he handed over everything. I mean, the whole depiction was like he was just so shocked that his boyfriend could do something like this. And so he handed over.
Mind you, when you get raided, they just don't, let's just go ahead and move tables around. No, they come through and ravish through your shit when they raid you. It is not a joke at all.
Everything. Well, according to his family, that's just not true. According to his family, he was raided and he was angry about that raid. And yet he was instantly released back into their care within 6 hours. Isn't that something? They had no idea what was happening. They were going off of Mike, the mysterious detective, Mike Mitchell's tip. They had no confession. They have Tyler Robinson walking in peacefully because he doesn't want to die. And you're telling me Lance Twiggs, for whatever reason, you released him immediately back into custody? No, they lied. He was not being compliant and walking in and showing them everything. Something else that was interesting, we had told you guys that Tyler's family thought that there could have been something weird going on with that raid, that perhaps the feds could have been staging that apartment to fit into their narrative. Now, the feds are staging this entire operation, so that would follow that if you're trying to get a conviction, you got to be like, and we found this in his house, the note underneath the keyboard.
Notice she has put this on the feds, not Israel necessarily, but put it on the feds.
So convenient, but he destroyed it. He took a picture of it, but then he destroyed it. Because everybody knows if you want to destroy something so it never sees the light of day, you take a picture of it so it lives forever in the iCloud. Anyways, we were told by Lance's family that, who, by the way, own the apartment that the two of them lived in, that Tyler and Lance lived in, we were told that somebody illegally changed their locks on the home following the raid. Obviously illegal. They were not informed that the locks were being changed. So it gives us two options. It was either Lance or it was the feds. I was wondering, like, you know, if you're Lance and you really got swept up in this and you're so shocked that Tyler Robinson did this, are you speaking to your family about that? My gosh, I'd imagine.
Listen, I'm going in hiding if that ever happened to me. Like, I'm not talking to nobody because, and here's the thing that I find so interesting. Like, you're seeing like these MAGA people go to the black HBCUs, it is a black because it's HBCU, but you go into the churches, black churches, and it's all like, y'all have so much anger for black people. Because remember the day that Charlie Kirk died, they're all like, protect white men, protect white men. You see them out in like Laguna Beach or whatever beaches there are in California, in Southern California, right? And it's all like, y'all have this anger, but it was another white man that was the shooter. Like, nobody has any smoke for Tyler, who is the man. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
And you want to speak to your family? No, it seems Lance has similarly been in an unknown location since the raid. I would imagine he was in witness protection for a bit, but he doesn't need family. He feels, I would say, that suggests that he's pretty arrogant right now in this moment. He's not fearful of anything. Like I said, the sense I am getting is we are watching a play, right? The government has us completely distracted with photos of people who are not even the same person. I never for a second thought the person that was in the maroon shirt was the same as the person that was walking with the limp. It's completely foolish and ridiculous. I can also tell you something else. We received a tip, which I vetted, that on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, immediately George Zinn gets up and says, I did it. And he kind of gets dragged. Well,
white guy.
Apparently George Zinn had to receive medical treatment following that, little fracas. And he told multiple nurses and doctors that he did it because he was being paid to do it. He said he had not been paid yet, but he was going to receive payment. He didn't know from who. That's interesting. Decoy boy told medical staff, apparently he was just singing, just telling everybody who would listen that he did it because payment was going to be promised to him if he did do it. What does that tell us? We should definitely dig into George Zinn. We should definitely try to confirm this relatively strong tip that he has connections to the feds, because it would be very interesting if the feds were going to pay George Zinn. I'm not saying they are, but yeah, why wouldn't he know? I mean, make that make sense. Why wouldn't George Zinn know where the payment was coming from? Yeah. Anyways, you guys, we are on the case. I wanted to share that with you. Some other explosive things that we have.
Very weird, very strange. And somebody who is not a Charlie Kirk fan like me, this whole situation is strange. And now that Candace has dropped some legit receipts that seem to be real, damn, I gotta give her flowers. I'm invested now. I'm back invested in this whole thing. So again, let me know what you guys think. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's only gonna get messier, y'all. It's only gonna get messier. But thank you guys for watching. I love y'all. And of course, let me know what y'all think in the chat. Like, this situation is mind blowing. And the fact that Charlie Kirk had a feeling like he was gonna be unalived, since we can't say the other word because of the algorithm, man, this is crazy.